In 10 years of marriage to a Midwestern farmer, I have made more casseroles than I ever thought possible, and they just keep getting better. So today I'm drawing inspiration from our first date again and making my prosciutto Swiss croissant strata. It explodes with layers of melty, cheesy, meaty goodness, just like our marriage. I'll start by crisping up my prosciutto. This all comes together in a brazier. It's so easy. It's a great way of using up any leftover meat or veggies or cheese, because you don't have to use prosciutto. You could really use any salty meat. I've got a little oil in my pot here to help it crisp up. A strata is basically a savory bread pudding, and it's a great thing to make if you have a ton of leftover bread, or in this case, croissants. You can toss in whatever veggies you have left over, whatever little bits of cheese you need to use up. I'm going with prosciutto just to make things a little extra fancy and classy for the anniversary. 10 years is aluminum or diamonds. I'm gonna change it to 10 years is prosciutto or diamonds. That leaves one thing for Nick. The prosciutto is crisp, I'll get it out of here. Just transfer them to a plate and make way for the veggies. I like to do the meat first so that the fat from the meat can cook the veggies. So efficient. I'll add another little drizzle of oil to my pot. It's just looking a touch dry. And cook my veggies. I've got some chopped onion and green bell pepper. I actually didn't always add green bell pepper to this particular casserole, but then one day I was making it on a Saturday, the day after Pizza Friday, and I had a leftover half of a green bell pepper from my pizza the night before, so I tossed it in, and it was so good. Kind of gives like Denver omelet vibes. Pinch of salt. I'll let these soften. And they're a little bit stuck to the bottom of the pan left over from cooking the prosciutto. That has pure flavor. So I actually just scrape those up as I'm cooking the veggies. One of the biggest things I've learned about Nick over the years is his concept of time and how flexible it is. If he says he'll be in 5 minutes, it's always at least 10. If he says he'll be in 15 minutes, it's at least 25. And half hour, forget about it. See you tomorrow. A great thing about a casserole like this one is that once it comes out of the oven, it can stay warm for a while. So it'll be delicious for him whenever he decides to come inside. He better be on time tonight for our anniversary. Now some greens, I'll pile in some spinach. I'll cook this for a few minutes until the spinach wilts down. You could also use kale here or chard, any veggies that you like to eat with eggs. This is just about wilty. I'll grab the croissants. I've got a pound of day-old croissants here. Look at these big beauties. I'll just tear them up into little pieces right into my pan. You want them to be a little bit dried out so that they actually have more room to absorb more flavor. Croissants are just perfect for a strata because you really only want to eat them when they're freshly baked. And so if you have too many and you're left with a few day-old croissants, they're just not as good. And of course, I'm using croissants as a nod to our first date. I didn't actually realize it was a first date. I thought it was just two friends hanging out. And then we got to the beach, we parked our bikes, we sat down on the beach, and Nick pulled out this beautiful breakfast of croissants and fruits and jam. And I was like, oh, you planned this. This is so romantic. That's when I realized it was a date. And then I was like, all right, yeah, I'm into this. My hands are getting buttery. I'm not mad about it. Looks good already, a big old bowl of croissant. I'll toss the prosciutto back in, give it a little fold, just to help everything distribute evenly. I like a strata when you can taste all of the components in one bite. I'll sprinkle on some cheese. I'm using a mix of mozzarella and Swiss cheese. Mozzarella for that melty factor, and then Swiss for the slight bit of funkiness. And then a key component to any strata is an eggy mixture that holds everything together and soaks up into the crevices of the croissant. I'll start with 10 whole eggs here. The chickens have been hard at work. I'll pour in 4.5 cups of whole milk and a half cup of heavy cream to double down on that richness. A couple of dollops of Dijon mustard brings all these flavors to life. A few passes of nutmeg checks the box for warmth. A couple of shakes of hot sauce to keep things spicy. 3/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, loads of black pepper, and then I think that any egg situation is made only better with the addition of dill. We'll whisk this together. This is smooth and creamy. I'll pour it all over. Those croissants are just gonna lap it all up. Oh, that looks good. I'll finish with another sprinkle of Swiss so that it can get melty and browned on top. I'll cover this up, and then this will go in the oven at 350 degrees covered for half hour, and then uncovered for another half hour until it gets golden on top. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Did somebody say strata? Let me check this out. Oh, baby, this looks so freaking good. I'll finish with a couple of sprinkles of flaky salt and a little more dill. I wish you could smell this right now. I feel like I'm in a fancy French bakery. I'm going straight in. Gotta get the perfect bite. This bite has it all. Prosciutto, spinach, steam coming out of it. With the buttery croissant and the dill in there, I'm crying the weepy, happy tears just like at my wedding. This is out of this stratosphere.